Imagine meeting someone, maybe on a dating show. He's charming, good-looking, seems witty, just the kind of person who seems safe, desirable even.
Right. Someone who puts you completely at ease.
Exactly. Now, picture this. That same person is hiding an almost unimaginable darkness, secretly planning truly horrific acts. It's a chilling thought, isn't it?
It really is. How someone can wear such a convincing mask of normalcy, even charisma, while being capable of such profound evil.
It challenges everything we think we know about reading people. And that paradox is right at the heart of the story we're exploring today.
A really disturbing one.
We're doing a deep dive into the case of Rodney Alcala, who became infamous as the dating game killer.
A name that sends chills down your spine once you know the story.
He used that charm, that charisma, as a weapon to lure people. He left behind this trail of terror, unsolved mysteries that baffled police for decades.
And our mission today is really to follow that path.
Yeah, trace his journey from what looked like a normal kid to this incredibly prolific serial killer. We'll look at the key moments, how he evaded justice for so long, and the painstaking work that finally exposed the terrifying scope of his crimes.
It's a complex and deeply unsettling narrative.
So let's start at the beginning. Rodney Alcala was born Rodrigo Alcala Bucor, August 23, 1943, in San Antonio, Texas.
His family seemed almost like the ideal, the American dream type. They moved around a bit, Mexico, then back to LA.
Then, around when he was 13 or 14, his parents split up. He moved with his mom to Los Angeles, went to private school, and graduated from Montebello High in 1960.
And what's really jarring looking back is how people described him then.
Right. Friends apparently said he was popular, funny, smart. Teachers thought he was bright academically.
It creates such a stark contrast, doesn't it, to the man he became? It's almost unbelievable.
It absolutely is. That image of a bright, well-liked kid makes the later horrors even harder to grasp.
Well, from a psychological standpoint, this kind of contrast isn't completely unheard of. Individuals with certain traits, like narcissism or psychopathy, can be masters at presenting this highly functional, charming exterior.
Hiding what's underneath.
Exactly. Hiding the lack of empathy, the predatory side. Their intelligence often helps them maintain that deception, making them seem perfectly normal.
And it wasn't long after high school that the first real cracks started to show. At 17, he joins the Army, stationed at Fort Campbell.
Serves about 3 years, seems okay, but then suddenly goes AWOL, claims he's sick.
But what he does next is, well, incredibly bold. He steals a car, credit cards, drives 13 hours straight to New York City.
And he doesn't just hide. He finds a woman, attacks her, hits her on the head with a Coke bottle.
Luckily, she escaped and went straight to the police.
Which raises a huge question, right? Was this really his first violent act or just the first time he got caught?
Good point.
That level of aggression, plus fleeing immediately, it suggests someone already capable of significant violence and, crucially, someone already practiced at avoiding consequences.
So he gets arrested for that assault, and because he's AWOL, the case gets handed over to the military.
But he doesn't stay caught for long.
No. While they're transferring him back by train, there's some kind of malfunction. They have to change trains. And in the confusion,
he just slips away.
Vanishes into the crowd.
Yeah.
Becomes a ghost, basically.
Incredible. And where does he go?
Back to his family in Los Angeles, surprisingly. But his family, they noticed something was wrong.
A change in him?
A big one. They said his eyes, his expressions, his whole demeanor seemed different, darker. His sister even said he started trying to scare her, like creeping up behind her. Really unsettling stuff.
But they didn't do anything.
Apparently not. Maybe didn't know what to do or didn't grasp the severity. This was a different time. Less awareness about these things.
True. Eventually, the military caught up with him again, brought him back.
But here's where it gets really weird. After this second run-in with the military, after going AWOL, committing assault, he somehow gets an honorable discharge.
An honorable discharge?
Yeah. Recognized as a top performer who benefited the Army. It's baffling.
Completely baffling. It suggests maybe a major bureaucratic error, or perhaps military procedures back then just weren't equipped to handle someone like him properly. Processing over thorough review, maybe.
You'd think that would set him straight, but no. After the discharge, he goes back to LA, seems normal again. Enrolls at UCLA, studies photography.
Popular again, apparently. Good with women, fit right back in.
But this period, this is when things take a truly horrific turn. September 1969, Hollywood. He finds an 8-year-old girl, Tali Shapiro, walking to school.
And he uses that charm, lures her into his car, pretends he's a friend of her parents sent to pick her up.
Just awful. But thankfully, someone saw it happen.
A good Samaritan noticed something wasn't right about the interaction.
Followed Alcala to his apartment building and called the police immediately. Just had a bad feeling.
Officer Chris Camacho responded. He had to break into Alcala's apartment.
And the scene inside. It was beyond horrific. Tali was naked, severely injured on the kitchen floor. There was blood everywhere. A heavy metal rod was pressing on her neck.
Camacho had to make a split-second choice. He focused on saving Tali, pulling her away.
Which gave Alcala the chance to escape out the back.
Tali survived, miraculously, but after 32 days in a coma, and she lost her memory of the attack itself.
Her family, who'd also just lost their home in a fire, understandably felt they had to leave. They moved to Mexico, trying to help her heal and forget.
Such immense trauma for that family.
Meanwhile, the police found Alcala's UCLA ID in the apartment, so they knew who he was.
But his friends...
Unbelievably, they defended him, told police he was a good guy, couldn't possibly do something like that.
Shows how convincing his mask was?
But Alcala was already gone. Fled to New York City again, this time using the alias John Berger.
And just brazenly carries on, enrolls in photography at NYU, even gets a job at a kids' summer camp in New Hampshire.
It was at that camp, though, that his past caught up. 2 kids recognized him from wanted posters related to the Tali Shapiro attack.
Leading to his arrest for that crime. But then came another major failing of the system.
Yeah, Tali's father, wanting to shield her from more trauma, decided she wouldn't testify.
Then without her direct testimony.
He was only convicted of child molestation. He got an indeterminate sentence.
Which back then in California meant the parole board had a lot of discretion. And in his case...
It meant he only served 34 months. Less than 3 years. For that horrific attack.
An incredibly light sentence that put a very dangerous man right back on the streets far too soon. A real failure.
And it didn't stop there. He got arrested again later, drug use with a minor in California, served another 2 years.
Paroled again, this time told he had to stay in California.
But somehow, mysteriously, he ends up back in New York, just defying parole completely.
Back in New York, still John Berger, he really starts using that camera and his charm as tools for predation.
And the body count begins. July 1974, a woman named Ellen Hover disappears. She was the daughter of a nightclub owner.
Her calendar had multiple appointments noted with John Berger. Police questioned Alcala, but...
No hard evidence. They had to let him go. Her skeleton was found 11 months later in a state park.
That case went cold for years. Technology just wasn't there yet to link him definitively.
Then he moves back to Los Angeles and the pattern continues. But the cases weren't initially connected.
No, they seemed like separate, brutal incidents. 4 more women murdered.
Jill Barkham, she was 19, a tourist from New York, found in a canyon, sexually assaulted, strangled, bludgeoned, bite marks, her body rolled up. Just brutal.
Then Georgia Wixted, 27, a nurse, found naked in her apartment, strangled with stockings, severe sexual assault, her skull crushed.
Charlotte Lamb, 32, worked in law, found in her apartment's laundry room, brutal sexual assault, beaten, strangled with a shoelace.
And Jill Parenteau, 21, a student intern, found naked in her bathroom, again, horrific sexual assault, beaten, strangled, a broken mirror with blood showed how he got out.
The sheer brutality, the number of victims, it's staggering, and he just kept getting away with it.
It really highlights the challenges for law enforcement back then. Forensics were limited, right? No widespread DNA testing, no linked databases like we have now. Fingerprinting was basic.
So each crime was like an island.
Pretty much. Investigated in isolation, connecting these dots across different places, especially with a killer like Alcala who could just blend back in, change his appearance, move around. It was incredibly difficult. He was a phantom.
Leaving police with just this growing pile of unsolved, horrific cases.
Exactly.
And then, in the midst of all this undetected horror, comes maybe the most infamous, most bizarre moment of all.
The dating game.
September 13, 1978, he goes on this huge national TV show, The Dating Game. Uses his charm, his wit.
And wins. The contestant, Cheryl Bradshaw, actually chose him for the date. It's surreal to watch now, knowing what we know.
But thankfully, Cheryl had incredible instincts.
She really did. After the show, she just got this awful feeling about him. Immediately felt dread, unease.
Described him as creepy, scary, said she got goosebumps, felt physically sick near him.
That powerful gut reaction. She trusted it and refused to go on the date.
A decision that almost certainly saved her life.
No doubt about it. A very near miss.
But Alcala wasn't deterred by the near miss on TV. He was quickly looking for another victim.
Went to Huntington Beach, approached two 12-year-old girls, Robin Samso and her friend Bridget, offered to take their photos for some fake swimsuit company.
But someone saw him, a concerned citizen, told him to leave the girls alone, and called the police. Another close call.
Tragically, though, later that same day, Robin Samso disappeared. She was riding her bike to a tutoring class.
12 days later, her body was found in a forest. Badly decomposed, but the autopsy suggested stabbing, sexual assault.
Bridget's description of the man on the beach was crucial. Police made a sketch.
And that sketch led straight back to Alcala. He was arrested again.
This time, the search of his property yielded something huge. They found a receipt for a storage locker, but it was in Seattle, Washington.
Inside that locker, it was a house of horrors. Pornography, disturbing photos, some looked like his victims, injured or possibly deceased.
And critically, one small, specific item, an earring.
Robin Samso's earring. Her mother confirmed it tearfully.
That was the piece they needed. Direct physical evidence linking him to Robin's murder. Finally.
He was sentenced initially to 30 years just for Robin's murder. His defense tried to argue police were framing him that the media was creating a serial killer narrative.
But science caught up. DNA technology advanced dramatically.
Investigators started reopening cold cases, looking for links.
And they found them. DNA conclusively tied Alcala to Ellen Hover, the woman whose skeleton was found years earlier in New York.
Into those 4 unsolved LA murders: Jill Barkham, Georgia Wixted, Charlotte Lamb, and Jill Parento.
With that undeniable scientific proof, his sentence was upgraded to the death penalty.
It really shows how vital those forensic advancements became, right? Solving cases that seemed impossible before.
Absolutely. It makes you think. How many other cold cases from that era are still out there, just waiting for that one piece of DNA evidence to finally bring answers?
During the trials, Alcala's behavior was just bizarre. He acted as his own lawyer.
Famously spoke in 2 different voices, a deeper one for Alcala, a normal one for his client.
He even sang that song, Alice's Restaurant, the part about wanting to kill someone. Just chillingly strange.
His psychiatrist suggested he might have multiple personalities, might not even remember the crimes, though that didn't really hold up in court.
But then came another powerful moment. Tali Shapiro.
Decades later, her memories of that horrific attack started coming back. Fragments, but enough.
In an incredible act of courage, she came back and testified against him, faced him in court.
And during her testimony, Alcala looked at her, almost like she was an old friend.
And whispered, "I'm sorry."
It wasn't seen as remorse, though. More like a desperate, manipulative ploy, maybe fearing the death penalty now that she was there, testifying.
And even then, the full scope wasn't known. In 2013, more victims emerged.
A woman saw one of Alcala's storage locker photos, recognized her sister, Christine Thornton.
Christine had disappeared back in 1972 in Wyoming. She was pregnant at the time. Her body was found in 1977, but the case was cold.
DNA testing finally confirmed it. Alcala's DNA was on her remains. She became his official 7th victim.
And an 8th victim was identified too. Cornelia Crilly, a flight attendant in New York.
Found in her apartment in 1971, strangled with stockings. Alcala had apparently offered to help her move in. DNA and photos linked him to her murder, too.
So the picture just got bigger and more horrifying, spanning years, multiple states.
It revealed a predator who operated far more widely, for far longer, and with far more victims than anyone initially realized. A truly terrifying pattern.
After all those years on death row, Rodney Alcala finally died of natural causes in prison. July 24, 2021, he was 77.
The end of the dating game killer's life, but the horror he caused lingers.
It really does. His story is just this harrowing reminder, isn't it? How that charming surface can hide such absolute evil.
From popular student to soldier to photographer, he blended in so easily. That's what made him so dangerous.
And that dating game appearance, it just amplifies the terror in hindsight. Seems so normal, but it was anything but.
And we saw how even things like an honorable discharge or friends defending him couldn't hide the truth forever. Determined police work, and especially forensic science, eventually caught up.
But there's still that unsettling question that hangs over it all, isn't there?
Definitely. What was the actual turning point for him? What was that psychological trigger, that hidden impulse that sent him down such a drastically violent path, away from that seemingly normal start? We may never truly know.
It's a question that leaves you thinking. Well, you've just joined us for this deep dive into the truly disturbing case of Rodney Alcala.
If you found this exploration compelling and you want to keep uncovering these complex, often dark stories,
Please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It really helps support what we do, and make sure you don't miss our future deep dives.
we really appreciate you joining us today.
Thanks for listening.